Hi, I wanted to take just a few minutes and welcome you to our course and show you around just a little bit, give you a little bit of navigation information. So, when you log into our course, you're going to see this basic course page. You will get the start here, the orientation module, the syllabus, and then additional course modules as those are made available to you. I am Professor Shay Faulkner, and my email address is afaulkner4 at valenciacollege.edu. I wanted to take just a minute and walk you through certain parts of the syllabus just so that you're aware of those parts of the syllabus. So, for this course, we're looking at a 12-week course. That means that we have a 16-week course that's been condensed into 12 weeks. So, there's something to keep in mind. Additionally, I wanted to go over my office hours with you. I will be available through email or Zoom on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 12 until 2, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 until 6. There are situations where I may add on a synchronous Zoom meeting, or maybe during the 5 to 6 hour on Tuesdays or Thursdays, we'll do one where you can join in, ask questions in real time. Maybe we can look over your work. Maybe if you have questions about something that we're reading, we can look at that there. This course is a survey in English literature from 1800 to present. And to be in this course, you do need to have completed successfully either ENC 1101 or ENC 1101 honors. Our course outcomes are this: students will read with literal and inferential comprehension. Students will identify elements of literature. Students will write literary analyses incorporating evidence from primary sources. Students will recognize authors and works as belonging to specific literary movements. So, for this semester, we're going to look at three basic literary movements: the Romantic period, the Victorian age, and literature from the 20th and 21st century. So, we have three literary movements that we're going to look at, or periods that we're going to look at. And then there are some sub movements that go on during those periods that we will talk about. For your textbook for this course, there isn't actually one. We will be using an online textbook called the Valencia Reader from time to time. Additionally, I'll just be providing you links of open resourced items for you to read, because much of what is needed for this course is already available out there on the internet. I also wanted to go over a few things that I think are worth mentioning to you. If you do not complete your orientation quiz by the first Friday of the course, which I think is May 8th for this particular course, you will be withdrawn as a no-show. So it's very important that you get your work completed this week, at the very least, that orientation quiz, although you do have 3 assignments due on Friday. Additionally, I wanted to go over academic dishonesty. It's very important that you are submitting only your work. You aren't supposed to be using outside sources unless I have directed you to so. So you're not supposed to be looking up things. You're supposed to be working on, your own basis of knowledge, and your ability to analyze and put together information. I say that to say this, that it's important that you are submitting only your work. In the event that you submit something that is plagiarized, then you would receive a 0 on the first time it happened and an F in the course if it happened a second time. Additionally, it's not simply just copy and pasting that can fall into plagiarizing or cheating. If you consult a source and you don't include it on a works cited page and with an in-text citation, that's considered cheating. If you resubmit work you've already submitted to a different class, that can be considered cheating. If you copy somebody else's work, obviously that's considered cheating. So just make sure that you are presenting your work as best you can, and as honestly as possible. The next thing that I want to go over is the attendance policy. If you stop working for a period of 7 consecutive days, at that point, I will send you an email and say, hey, just checking in, want to know what's up. If I haven't heard from you and you haven't resumed working within 48 hours of me sending that email, you are eligible for being withdrawn from the course. Sometimes I understand that things do come up. There are emergencies. Right now, we're dealing with a pandemic. So there's all sorts of things that could happen that I understand, and I'm willing to work with you, but please reach out to me, because if you're not communicating with me, it's harder for me to work with you. Additionally, I have a pretty thoughtful late work and makeup policy. For summative assessments, so assessments or assignments worth 100 points or more, you may submit those up to 24 hours past the due date with a 25% penalty and up to 48 hours past the due date with a 50% penalty. But formative assessments, which those are going to be the ones that are worth fewer than 100 points, those will be accepted 48 hours past the due date with a 50% penalty. That said, if you're in a situation where there's an emergency, life has gotten in the way, and you realize you're not going to be able to make a due date, just send me an email. 9 times out of 10, I will grant you some sort of an extension if you contact me before the official deadline. So please stay in contact with me. I'm always happy to help you. Because this is an English course, we are going to use MLA 8. I provided a link to Purdue's online writing lab here to help you as you are working towards your MLA. The expectation, because you've made it through Comp 1, is that you understand MLA and are able to successfully implement it. But if you ever need help with that, just reach out to me. The final thing I'm going to go over is the final exam policy and grading breakdown. The final exam policy, or the final exam will take place on July 28th. It's just due by then. It's not really an exam. It's more of a written reflection. So it's going to be pretty simple for you to do just whenever you get to that point. It is due by July 28th, though. This course is worth 1,000 points. It's a points-based class. As such, in order to earn an A, you would need to earn at least 900 of the points available. To earn a B, between 800 and 899, a C, 700 and 799, and so on and so forth. There are a variety of assignments. We have 2 essays, one worth 100 points, one worth 150. We have 5 quizzes that are worth varying point totals up to 90 points. We have 9 discussion board posts that you guys will do. You have 5 analysis activities that you will do. You have 5 reflection assignments that you will do. You have 3 Flipgrid discussions you will do. A self-assessment that is worth 30 points, and a rough draft and peer review that's worth 40 points. So there's a handful of assignments in this course, and that's kind of our breakdown. I'm going to show you the course schedule very briefly. On the course schedule, you'll see what week and the dates we're in, what the topic is going to be, and then any due dates. So this week we have the orientation quiz, the discussion, introduction, and the self-assessment. Those are all going to be due on May 8th. And then as we move into the next week, we have, we'll start romanticism. And then on Monday, you'll have 2 assignments due. And on Friday, you'll have 1 assignment. And then you're also given indication of which authors we're going to be working with on that particular week. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but when you are working through the modules, let's jump over to that for a second. When you're working through the modules, you're required to complete all items in order, which means that you will start with the first page and then you will work through each page and then get to your assignments. It will not let you have access to an assignment if you haven't completed whatever was before it. So with each of these, you would read them. And then when you get to the orientation quiz, you will have to take that quiz. Then you have to do the introduction video. Then you can do the self-assessment. Then as you move into week 2, that module, you will have to have completed the orientation module to gain access to the week 2 module. That said, modules are open every Wednesday. So today, because it's the first day of class, you don't have access just yet to the week 2 module. But on Wednesday, you'll get access to that. The following Wednesday, you'll have access to the week 3 module, so on and so forth. Again, you have to work in order for each of those assignments. And you will have to turn in, you'll have to read each page and then turn in each assignment in order to continue moving forward. If you have any questions about this as we move forward, please let me know. With grading, I try to get grades returned to you between 24 and 48 hours for short assignments, but for essays, it can take up to a week, kind of depending on what the situation is with the essays. I think that's everything that I need to go over with you as far as course navigation goes. If you have any questions or need any help with anything, contact me through Canvas messages. That's the easiest and best way to contact me. I hope you are excited for the course. I'm excited to have you. And if you need anything, let me know.